Welcome to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Strings of Fate Season 3 Episode 4 Aperture. I am APGamingREAL, and we have several things to catch you up on. First off, you may know that Grimdark James normally brings you the hot Warhammer 40K news, but I have a scoop on him this time. A news article that I received and didn't tell him about. Magic the Gathering is having 4 Warhammer 40K crossover themed decks, which means in the near future, you will be able to take your Tyranid army and fight Fortnite kids, because they're also making a Fortnite deck as well. So if you've ever wanted to eat stupid kids who are doing the Fortnite dances, now's your time. You can make it happen, or gun them down. I don't know. Whatever you want to do to kill them.
I just hope Tyranids consume land cards.
Wow, what? Listen, I want Tyranids to play like Slivers just because I fucking love Slivers.
Oh, fuck you.
Deck.
You like Slivers? Fuck you. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I love Slivers.
Are you the guy that goes to like the commander events and it's like, hey man, check out my 150 deck of Slivers, and you're like, God, fuck you. Every single card is just a giant fuck you.
I only have
right?
one deck left. I'm sorry, friend. I have more baseball cards than I have Magic the Gathering cards now.
I've still got my tournament legal novelty Black Lotus, which is like the size of a full scat page.
Not selling that one for $170,000, huh? Yeah. So we've wrapped up a couple shows around here. You might have seen that, and we've got several more getting ready to launch. Season 3 of Solaris Knights is out now. Season 3 of Oath of Enosteel is coming out tomorrow to Patreon viewers. Dawn Agreement is coming at the end of next month, which is a D&D 5e show. And I got a couple of new series that are going to drop during the time of vacation, which is the end of next week. I think September 5th is when I leave. So I'll do this show, and then I'll leave.
What's the time of vacation about? That sounds interesting.
What? I'm taking a week's vacation in Colonial Williamsburg.
I know. I'm just blowing hot air up your butt.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Will it be streamed?
No. I listen. The Gen Con production people were like, "So can we mark you in for Friday?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can we mark you in for next Friday?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Can we mark you in for the next month?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Can we mark you in for Friday forever?" And I was like, "Yes, except for one Friday in particular." And they were like, "Why this Friday? What is so mysterious about this Friday?" I'm like, "I'm going on vacation." So that's it. That's my vacation.
I do get that from time to time when I hire people, and they're like, I'll take the job, but I've already booked leave for like 6 months in advance. I need that same leave to be available. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
You'd be surprised at how many employers are just like, no, you can't go on holiday at that point.
No. The last employer that I worked for in my engineering job literally was like, you can't call in sick or take a vacation for like the first 3 months. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm not gonna find a book of New Jersey labor laws, but I'm fairly certain that you just lied to me big time.
It's like my wife's employer tells her that she has to book leave at least 12 months out, and I keep telling her they can't do that. But
Yeah,
like,
that
no,
doesn't sound right.
She just abides.
I don't even know how you can plan your life a year in advance at this point anymore. So, I say that knowing that I've tried this week to be a more positive person and stop making self-deprecating remarks and being snidely condescending all the time. It's tough. It's really tough. My default setting. Not a stream personality. Spoon was here last, and he didn't talk at all during the pre-show while the Genshin gals were gabbing. So we're going to start with his intro.
All right. Oh, man. Yeah, so I was at a barbecue, and I got home for this. And when I got home, I discovered the dogs had gotten out of their pen and ripped a bunch of shit up around the house. So
Who let the dogs out?
The dogs let the dogs out, I think. So gonna have to get a little bit more clever in how they get pinned up when nobody's in the house, because it's really just the one that just goes absolutely bonkers when there's no one here. So yeah, had let's see, I don't know, that kind of consumed my thoughts recently. So I don't know what my intro is. Solaris Knights season 2 started up, so that was good. Looking forward to Arthur getting back from vacation and continuing these shows. I don't know what I'm going to do for a week without
Jesus
Solaris
Christ.
Knights content.
You realize that the week after that is Gen Con week, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, Spoon, I need to give you a heads up, since I'm pretty sure you're a moderator on my channel, and so is Pondo.
Mm-hmm.
The harbinger of the hate raids, Hoss00312_ has followed me earlier this week, and he just did it again. So I'm pretty sure we're about to get hit with a hate raid in the near future.
Okay.
So we may need to do some indiscriminate chat control.
Yep.
Just to let you guys know that for the first time ever, I may ask you to do moderation. For the first time in 7 years, someone may have to choke a bitch.
I'm pretty sure I'm a moderator as well. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Have you ever had to do any moderation on this channel?
I once banned a spammer, so you know.
One time. All right.
Yeah.
One time.
I'm sorry I made you put in that level of effort. But that guy's known for having led hate raids across most of Twitch at this point. So.
Okay. All right. We might.
It's literally one guy, and he keeps remaking an account with the exact same name, and somehow Twitch can't stop him. Oh, imagine being the premier technology.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
How can we stop him? He uses the same name every time, and he has the same MO and the same bot network. How can we stop this man? We only have $1 billion.
Yeah. We're only owned by one of the largest companies in the entire world. But this one guy, he's does he have our number?
I mean, they're busy building fucking rockets. I don't give a shit what happens on Twitch chat. God
2
damn it.
weeks. Unbelievable.
It's been
What people can get away with.
It has been fucking awful. I've seen some of the people I follow on Twitter and stuff posting clips and whatnot, and it's fucking terrible. Like, Twitch has dropped the ball on this one, I think. But
They started dropping the ball like 2 years ago, my dude.
No
Maybe
comment.
even earlier.
No
than that.
comment.
yeah, that's the
No
same.
comment.
Yeah. Anyway, so I put a shelf up in my room. Did some handyman stuff. I got to put my bookshelf together. It's gonna go like, hang on. It's gonna go like right here.
Sure.
And then I'm planning on getting a second desk for miniatures to put together and paint and do that sort of stuff, and that'll just be right behind me here. So
Now, is it a really small desk, or is it a big desk from really small things?
that's a good question. I don't know, because I haven't purchased the desk yet, so it could be either of those things. It's Schrodinger's desk.
So that shelf doesn't look like it holds very much weight. Like, how is it attached to the wall given I don't see any L brackets beneath it?
Yeah, so it is. It's got drywall anchors in there, and they hold about like 25 pounds. So it's not for anything heavy. It's just like right now, it's got some pictures up there.
Okay, yeah, well, I wouldn't be doing it for chin ups on it.
No, God, no. Yeah. But so yes, it's starting to come together. I think I'm probably gonna put some more up beneath it as well. Put some minis up there or something. So that's pretty much it for me. Ready to get back to smiting the heretics and Xenos.
I don't think we're going to do any of that. We're
That's what we do on this show? Okay. Because I wasn't aware of that.
Airplane. Let's talk to Pondo the Mad A man who recently edited a video for me and then applied to become a Niji Sanji editor. Let's hope that Pondo can live out his dreams making VTuber videos.
Yeah, that's definitely.
He just has to beat all the
dreams.
Clippers to it.
Yeah. Hi. It's been an interesting couple weeks for me. I wasn't here the.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been back.
Yeah. I hope you guys had fun with the Twilight. Looks like a fun system.
I did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I'd like to
Did
see
you watch the
more
show,
from
Pondo?
it philosophically.
It looks like a fun system.
Okay.
You saw it.
The duct tape nature of it attracts my attention, essentially.
Duct tape. I'm telling you, man. Jagged Alliance 2 for all of you. Y'all should really be playing Jagged Alliance 2 113. For sure. Be out there all night, just like, all right, we got to repair all of our guns. I don't know which is better, the Dragunov or this M16. I got 5 bullets left. Let's hand load them into a magazine and then charge the enemy.
Had a baby. That happened.
Wow, you're just gonna underplay that one a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. I had a baby.
You're too young to remember that commercial. We had a baby, it's a boy.
Well, I had a baby, it's a girl.
That's a collect call from "Add a Baby, It's a Girl."
Yeah, I told you, Pondo's too young.
It sounds familiar. I just can't think of it at the moment. What else? Got hooked on the first XCOM game, specifically to the expansion pack for it. Didn't expect that to happen. And that's been a lot of my time. I was trying to do hobbying, but then I got distracted with the XCOM. Now I'm here.
You know what they say. Make all of your hobbies into things you can make money off of, and you'll feel like you never stop working.
Fair enough.
Only side hustle.
I mean, who's the one who's saying that? Someone who works constantly?
No, not me. I have someone who turns all my hobbies into things you can make money off of, though. Pondo, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. Henley, what about you?
Man, so much has happened. So, you know, business things. Got an extended business loan, all that stuff. You know, so that I can continue to make the games that I want to make without worrying too much about finances and stuff. Started a second company. Got all the money for that. Gonna try and get more money because, you know, making video games is an expensive process.
Yeah, but more money, more problems?
No.
No? Okay.
No, this is a little different. It's more like we have 40% of a company that we've designated as sold, and now we just have to find people to buy it. And we have a lot of people that want to buy it. So we're trying to negotiate a price that is extremely large for us because, you know, when you have a lot of history making video games and making a lot of money out of it, people tend to be like, huh, you'll probably make money off of this. I'm like, yeah, that's the goal. How did you know? So, you know, we're trying to do that at the moment. It's like it's an interesting process. Over in Poland, they have this thing called Find Funds, which is literally like a Kickstarter website for selling shares in a company. So if you wanted to like own shares in a company that kind of doesn't exist right now, except ours does, that's the website to do it on. And it's like basically you can, I want to spend like $10,000 on like shares or whatever, and get like 4 shares, maybe if you're lucky. So things like that, right? That's the sort of business that I'm looking at, that I'm doing right now. Also, stealing people from other companies and stuff like that. It's always fun when that sort of opportunity comes around. Like you snap them from other companies and stuff. It's good times. Doing a lot of polishing work, optimization work for the first alpha for one of the games we have. Went to IKEA today in Poland, which was fun, and it's always a goddamn trip doing that stuff. And we went to like a showroom for like prams and stuff, and baby shit and whatnot. And yeah, turns out I don't have enough time in my life to do everything I want to do. So
why would you be shopping for baby poop? I feel like the baby will give it to you for free.
I said prams.
You said and shit. Baby stuff and shit. So
okay, but you know what I mean. Like
wow, James, thank God someone got it, because Spoon was like, I don't know, did Arthur just make a joke? Holy shit. I didn't even think that one was that clever. I thought it was just right out. Like,
yeah, but I recently helped a friend play the first Yakuza, so Yakuza 0. He absolutely loved it. But, we spent way too much time doing the side stuff, so it took us like 50 hours to get through the game. And that was pretty fun. I don't know, the Xbox Game Pass thing is like really good value. Like it's like, I don't know, man, like that stuff is like really good value, especially when you don't know what type of games you want to play. So you can just sort of play everything. It's kind of awesome, actually. So I might consider buying that in the future. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Depends how good it is on PC these days, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gamescom happened. That was completely uneventful, as most digital video game conferences tend to be. And yeah,
listen, I remember doing 2 years of sitting through live game conferences from you, where the audience was full of journalists, and the people were like, yeah, let's pump it up, high energy, and the journalists are just like sitting there taking notes, looking down at their phones. Yeah, Forza Horizon is coming out. Woo! Yeah, and everybody's just like, show the gameplay footage, and they're like, so we're giving out some towels today.
I mean, that sort of stuff is I mean, that sort of the conference part is like interesting, but what really?
No, it's not at all.
Okay, calm down. Let me finish my story. So the old conferences are like kind of like an important process for basically like it's mostly there to like hype up investors and stuff like that, which is important. But come like an event like Gamescom, there's a lot more to it than just like the presentations that they have. Like most of the work that I used to do would be like at an event, you go on the show floor and you actually find new business, right? You go to there and you actually talk to people, you actually investigate what they're doing, and they tell you what they need, and you make a lot of new contacts and stuff like that there. So it's awesome. It's fantastic. Having a digital only conference like how Gamescom is right now is kind of like, it just doesn't work, right? Like you can't make the same sort of connections, and you can't make the same type of business that you can previously. So, I mean, I get, the world is in a completely different state than what it was like 2 years ago, but man, I don't think business is going to be easier digitally. Like it's like, because it's like getting spam email, right? Like you don't read spam email, right? Like you never do. But that's what kind of like signing up for, like, yeah, I have all these available slots that if you're interested in talking to me as a publisher, then you can come and negotiate these time slots. And people do that. And then you sit down and have a meeting with them. And it's just like, it is so garbage, such a fucking waste of time. And I don't know. I hate it. I hate it. It sucks. So, yay digital conferences, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's me.
All right, James. Look, I'm just teeing you up. You have to run a better game here tonight than my dinner, because my dinner was completely ruined, so it's a very low bar. I went out to it. It was a nice Italian place that I went to, and I got some sort of like calamari stuff with mushrooms in a garlic wine sauce. And when I got home, the container had been crushed in the store. And so all of the liquid had flowed out into the plastic bag at the bottom. And so it was like calamari in like a quarter inch of wine sauce and a bag full of wine sauce that I can do nothing with except wash out and throw in the garbage. So I'm just saying you have a low bar. But before you run that game, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
I was going to say Italian is my favorite cuisine as well, though, but not that I'm good at cooking it.
Arthur, why didn't you just pour the calamari in the bag and eat out of the bag like a human being?
Pour the Oh my god! You call that eating like a human being? That's the reverse.
Yeah, have you seen the man ball or whatever the fuck that is?
What the fuck?
It's like a bowl of cheese and ham, and you put it in the microwave and it turns into a delicious meal, and then you unwrap it and you eat it like a basketball, like any other basketball you would eat. Come on.
There were. Just go, James.
I was going to say, I bet you calamari and quarter inch of sauce sound pretty good now after that. So, look, I mean, it's been a few weeks since we had this game last. Probably my most interesting thing related to this is I was running my Pendragon game this week, and one of my Pendragon players, who's an army friend, he decided to watch the Twilight game and quite enjoyed it. Came back with a lot of comments from his point of view about the game. But he also, because of watching that game, started watching this game from the start and is now 6 episodes in and is quite enjoying this game, although it's still with the old crew. So I let him know there will be some upcoming changes. But yeah, he's enjoying. But like, it's funny now hearing from him the jokes that we basically had 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago. So but,
that's what we're calling them, huh? All right, I'll let that one. I'll let it fly.
Oh, I had to explain the whole situation because obviously it's not obvious in the show, but it was also during the time we were referring to COVID as the incident, because we couldn't say coronavirus or.
But we can do that now. We could say coronavirus.
That's right.
Oh man, the incident. I want to bring that back now that you said that.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. You see, so
it's like Lost.
I thought I would explain shrimping to him in advance, so he wasn't confused when that came around.
Listen, I didn't. The two of you, these two motherfuckers above me, are the ones that were like Genshin, waifu, kawaii, and I'm like, look, man, Hololive EN2 is out. I'm not gonna say anything about them, and these two are just like Genshin.
We said one fucking sentence.
I know, but if I exaggerate it, it's funnier for the audience.
You know what? I need to bring this up again. Remember that time you showed your fucking waifu folder on stream? You bastard.
I know. That's gone now. Deleted with the ashes of almost all the things I used to enjoy, Dave.
He left it in,
No, actually, I have a follow-up story to that. So, earlier this week, I was like, wait a second, why are there waifu pictures appearing on my Microsoft, like when you hit the start bar? I was like, why does the photos have those pictures? And so I clicked on it and was like, here's Microsoft OneNote. Here's every picture you've ever had on your computer for the last 3 years. And I was like, oh my God, is there a backup of everything I've already deleted? So I went and had to delete them again. And you'd think there would be an option to be like, delete everything. There's not. You have to delete it by month. You know how long it
Jesus.
takes to delete 3 years by month? Oh, holy
Wait,
fuck.
3 years of every month having waifu images in a folder that you have to
Yeah,
delete?
I mean, look, it wasn't just waifu
my-
images, right? It was also like artistic design decisions, anime reacts, GIFs. Oh, all right,
Artistic,
Dave.
okay.
Come on. Come on now.
This is
Hey, man.
This is from the man who makes porn video games for a living.
Wow, Spoon. I wasn't going to go there.
I
Ooh,
know.
Wow. Look at this
Hey, man,
support.
Dave is
I
a
chase-
successful businessman. He
I
can
chase
take
the
it.
money like I have the hustle like no one can fucking
That's
touch
right.
me with, you know?
Sure.
I go where the audience is and I make the content for them. You know, that's the difference. I don't have a folder on my desktop filled with 3 years worth of anime waifus. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
hard drives.
That's what he's known.
I wasn't going to do it, Spoon. I wasn't going to do it. Just avoid. Just...
Eject. Abort mission.
At best, I have folders with source code in it. Okay,
go.
that's about the extent that
Yeah.
I have.
You know, blonde, brunette, redhead.
Dave likes his waifus in ones and zeros.
He didn't see the code anymore.
Just go, James. We're so far afield.
So my other quick thing from this week is so Arthur's mentioned Dawn Agreement, which is one of the shows I've signed up for, and
Everyone on
looking
this
around.
show is signed up for it, James.
That's true. It's exactly true.
First thing I thought is like, oh, okay, so we're just meeting up on random days of the week now. Okay,
no. We have an extra player. That's it.
that's
So-
true. We have 1+.
Yes. But I was experimenting getting back into 3D modeling some character. I did some ideas for my own character. I played around with an idea for Spoon's character. I don't know if that's the actual character using them, but it was just something I was playing with. But I shared the art I did with some friends that I've done character art for before, and they've announced to me now that they're starting a Vampire 5th Ed game, and they've asked me to do all the character art for that. So I've suddenly gone from doing no 3D work recently to doing a whole bunch of 3D work, which is, it's a hobby. It's an expensive hobby, I've discovered, but it is a hobby nonetheless. But other than that, for me, it's really just been playing more the Old Republic again.
You're using Daz, right?
Daz is the primary thing I use for posing. So I mainly use Blender, I use ZBrush, and I use Daz. So Daz.
You use Daz for the models?
I use Daz because it creates a skeleton. So if you're not familiar with 3D work, the skeleton means if I've got a character with like an elbow and the arm goes straight, you can't then bend the elbow the other way. It'll start moving the whole arm, recognizing that the elbow joint only bends one way as such. So it's good for maintaining those structures. And now Daz has got something called D-Force or something. Anyway, effectively it allows you to simulate cloth draping naturally. So you can just drop a cloth object over a shape, and then it will automatically work out with gravity how that cloth will fall. But I mean, my rigs aren't powerful enough for animation. It's only really for static images. If I was actually going to animate, I would be trying to look at moving to Unreal. But my skill level isn't that high. So I do use a lot of purchase commercial assets and then modify them using like Blender or ZBrush. So. But yeah, I don't have, I can't draw human skin, so I use existing commercial surface materials, for example. So
I think you should, instead of buying things, Unreal actually has like a human maker, which you can actually design like humans and stuff
MetaHuman,
like
I think
that.
it's called now, the one that's just come out.
It's something like that. It's actually like really, really powerful for designing and conceptualizing like human beings or creatures or any sort of weird things that you want just by using a bunch of sliders. It's like making a character creator in a video game.
I've been because they released MetaHuman on the Epic Store, and I was going to look at it, but I realized that with the trial of it, once you start the trial, you can use it for 24 hours and the trial ends. So it's like I would want to try it out when I know I've got a lot of free time to focus on trying it out and see what I can do. But but other than that, I've dabbled with commercial grade software in the past. Like I played around with Massive, which was the software that was used to do like all the battles in Lord of the Rings. But it was just so far above my skill level as to be a pointless exercise. And Maya, same thing with Maya, and back, even go back to 3ds Max. I used to do a lot of work on that as well. But yeah, I'm not a designer. I'm just a person with a hobby interest in that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's been my life. Arthur, so did you have anything else you needed to go into before we kicked into the intro, or?
Watch the week that I'm on vacation, because I'm going to be dropping like 3 new shows.
While on vacation?
Yeah. I've been storing them up. That's it.
Are you gonna queue them up so they all happens automatically while you're on vacation? So you're not logging in on vacation to set them up?
No. Why? I can just preset them up.
Okay. Because that whole fractal premiere thing really annoyed me. Especially the weekend.
Wait. Are you talking about where the first episode was an explanation of what fractal was?
And then I had to wait 24 hours for the actual first episode. And then I'm watching it every single day, log in one day and find it. Oh, there's no fractal for 72 hours because apparently
I only did it on the weekday.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, Jesus. After Solaris Nights, y'all became some entitled ass motherfuckers.
Mm. Look, if
I have noticed that.
If
you can't wait for me to so you know what? When I want to watch epic rap battles of history, I gotta wait 3 years for them to be like, look, we started doing this in a garage with like $10,000, and now we got like 5 million. It's gonna take us 3 years to drop the next episode, okay? And I'll wait those 3 years, and y'all are like, I can't wait to watch the show soon enough. 24 hours is too long.
It's like, what the fuck, Marvel? Like, why do you keep putting up episodes a week at a time? Why can't you just put the entire series up in one go? Like the people over at Amazon Prime can, for example.
Yeah, you're getting reverse Netflixed.
That's right.
Remember when Netflix started doing that because they realized they could make more money by not releasing all the content at the same time?
Look, the hardest thing for me about lockdown has been my inability to just go to the shops and buy something. And sure, I can get it delivered to my home, but I'm an instant. When I decide I want something, I want it then. Yeah, I'm an instant satisfaction person, and the idea of having to wait 3 days for shipping just grinds my gears.
You know what you should do? You should have Amazon open an Amazon Prime facility.
Yeah, they don't have the guaranteed fast shipping here, unfortunately. So. Even if you are
Prime. Yeah, that blew my mind, James, when I went to America for the first time, and then I tried Prime. It was like, oh yeah, you want I don't know, a kilo of salt for whatever reason. There it is, bitch. Shows up in the next hour or two, and you're like, holy shit.
Just wait until you walk into your first Walmart.
I've been in a Walmart before.
Yeah.
You got guns on one side, t-shirts on the other, video games in the back, and food in the front.
Right.
Yep.
Everything.
I just remember confusing.
Everything American God needs to provide you.
I remember confusing the deli staff when I was like, "Yeah, I'll have 500 grams of that, please." And they're like,
no,
what
grams.
What are you talking about? Like, shit, I don't know. What's a gram?
A gram is like a half a pound, right?
You're like me, Dave. When I first moved out of home when I was 18, and my first trip to the shops to like buy groceries for my new home, I went to the deli counter to get some bacon. I thought, I'll use bacon for breakfast, etc. And they said, how much bacon do you want? And I just up until that point in my life, I had no concept of like the weight of food. So I said, a kilo should be good. So it's like 2.5 pounds of bacon. And I'm like, so much of it was bad because I couldn't eat bacon that fast.
I could eat a kilo of bacon in 5 days. Like, yeah, I could do that.
I think you're underselling a kilo of bacon for sure. You could go through it in like
you could put it in pastas, breakfast.
2 hours.
You could put it in it goes in every meal.
I'm
gonna broil some bacon wrapped bacon, man. You just gotta saturate the flavor in.
Hey, I still love the fact that I read this meme again this week, where apparently some restaurant trying to compete with McDonald's offered a 1/3 pound burger, and it didn't work because people thought that 1/3 pound was less than 1/4 pound.
Yeah, people still feel that way. That what you're talking about happened a while ago,
Yeah.
and people still think that.
Yep.
I'll give them a 4-4 burger. Can't go wrong.
You go and order a half-pound burger, and they're like, "We don't offer a half-pound burger." And you go,
No,
well, give me a double quarter pounder.
Yeah, they do. You can in Australia, you can ask for a half pounder, you can ask for a pounder. They won't put it on the menu, but apparently they know they can ask for that and they'll make it for you. So
The secret menu bullshit that they do. Oh my god.
Yeah. What about a
trying.
Royale with cheese? Can I get one of those at Macca's?
the Big Mac.
I forget what they call it. It's like the Mac Gangbang or something, where it's like you get like the $1 burger, the $1 cheeseburger, and the $1 chicken burger, and you like mix them together or
You're
something.
summoning Cottontail to join us on stream right now. I can sense her energy.
Apparently, that's what they call it. I've never seen it. It was like,
No, she's told me some of the stories of the secret menu.
Do you have now at your McDonald's like the machines you can go up and order like the touch screens to order your meal?
Yes.
What do you? Yeah.
I haven't
There is,
been
like, an
inside of a
automated
McDonald's.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I did that earlier this year
Yeah.
when I picked up my mom in Pennsylvania from her COVID flight. From when they booted her. No, that was last year. Around here the McDonald's are closed. They're like, get the fuck out the lobby. These doors are locked. We got chains on them, bitch.
So there was a scam that people worked out with the machines here, where because McDonald's has what they call a junior burger, which is just basically a cheeseburger with no cheese. I'm assuming you've got something similar there, but
It's called a hamburger here. Yeah.
hamburger. There you go. Okay, so you can remove selections from it, and if you remove the meat patty from the burger, it's discounted because obviously the meat is the most expensive part. But people worked out that the discount for removing the patty from the hamburger was more than the hamburger actually cost by 10 cents. So you'd order like 25 hamburgers, all with the meat patty removed, and then a regular cheeseburger for like $2.50, and it was free. You got a free meal, and you got a bag that had a single cheeseburger and like 25 buns in it.
Fuck.
Amazing.
Sounds like a good meal to
Human
me.
ingenuity right there.
That sounds more like raccoon ingenuity, but okay. I could see a raccoon pulling this stunt off.
Yeah.
Look, man, the park ranger service has said it best. The overlap between the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists is a lot bigger than you'd like.
All right, are we good?
Yeah, I don't know that we're good. After the waifu folder discussion, I'm not sure any of us are pure ever again. But yeah, let's go.
This group is inextricably tainted. All right.
Arthur being haunted by the ghosts of his past. every
Ghosts of
fucking month.
Waifu's Past? Oh my god. Wouldn't that be a great video game though? Oh no. Okay, imagine it real quick. It's like Ghost of Tsushima level of animation, but you just wander around and you're just like, this is a waifu I used to have. Allow me to jauntily go through this sun-dappled bamboo field, writing poetry about her.
Talk to a fox. You know, like
The
All right,
fox is a waifu girl.
Clip it. This is we're on track now. Okay. Clip
Yeah,
it
we're
here.
on track. 3826. Go ahead.
No worries. All right. Previously on Rogue Trader, the Strings of Faith, the Cowles fleet arrives at Port Wanda, having withdrawn from the Moor following their encounter at the Witch Curse World. Pierre Cowles meets with Tadeusz Markov, an astropath seeking to join the crew of the Hand to find his missing sister who disappeared searching for the Galen Sphere. The Silver Skulls fleet, led by Captain Eden Bourne, arrives at Port Wanda, bringing with him the Auto-Xenos Inquisitor Cassius Strain, who takes birth upon the Hand of Calixis. Reinforcements arrive in the form of the 35th Scintillan Fusiliers, led by General Commander Hellstrom Pilus, bringing a regiment of Lehman Russ battle tanks. Supplied and reinforced, the Cowles fleet departs Port Wanda, bound for the mysterious 13th station of passage. Thought for the day, intellect is the mask of traitors. So, is that all, Jai? Because I had to go back and watch part of the end of the show to remember what you're up to, but that all jives with your memory, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't have a memory of this game. I'm going to be completely honest.
All right,
Like,
Gandalf.
basically, I get it back when we start playing. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, that happened. It's like, yeah.
Sounds about right.
So the warp journey into the Moor is not an easy one. effectively, the 13th station of passage lies directly on the edge of one of the warp storms that forms the edge of the passage. And so as the ships draw closer and closer to the maelstrom of force, there are often sudden late course changes coming from the Oculus that had to be executed. Klaxons go off from time to time as there are sudden shoals are detected and avoided at the last moment. Probably, we don't need to roll for it, but probably several hundred crew members of each ship die from, various minor disasters occurring aboard the ships as they draw closer. When you believe you are, close to your actual destination based upon the navigator's original estimate, wherever you are, Pierre, you get a communication from the Oculus from Riani. And you can hear sort of the strangeness of the warp invading her chamber. Not in any way that it's uncommon, but just it's an unsettling thing to hear her voice like it's coming across an ocean.
Rude sandstorm.
That's right. Yeah. No. Sorry, we're gonna get DCMA'd. Sorry, if I keep singing it.
Now I'm just imagining every time that Rihanna calls me from the Oculus, it's gonna just Darude sandstorms playing in the background, and there's like a video playing of people doing parkour.
No. Obviously, the warp sounds like Eurobeat in its raw form. That explains Slanesh perfectly.
Well, I got to say, by the way, this week Warhammer Plus came out, which I subscribed to, and I did watch the episodes of Hammer and Bolter, and there was a navigator in that who had their third eye open, and it was not what I expected. I'd always thought of them having a completely regular human eye in their forehead, but it's very much a demonic looking eye, so much bigger than their regular eyes. So I look at Rihanna in a whole new light now.
No, I'm just gonna pretend that my canon is better.
Okay, your head canon. No,
yeah, it's just a regular human eye in her forehead. Okay. That's less weird.
Yeah, it's called because
it's less weird. I didn't say it's not weird at all. I just said it's less weird.
Because the power that they have that they can look at someone in their eye and flay their flesh, flay them alive. It's called the lidless stare, and the eye they have has no lids. It's just a giant opening in their forehead. So the idea that they can remove their cover and close the eye now has been forever denied to me because they don't have eyelids they can close.
Deep science.
So they have to wear something to cover it, essentially.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they don't want to flay their friends alive with warp energy. Yeah, which Rihanna doesn't right now.
Yeah. I'm sure there's got to be someone that she wants to show her.
I love the right now part of that statement.
At this exact moment in time. No, so Rihanna's sort of semi-disembodied voice comes across the Fox. Lord Captain, we near our destination, but this is the warp is close here. Eddies keep projecting out. I suggest that when we translate, that you keep the Geller field up and the void shields down until we know whether or not battle is imminent. For the safety of the ship.
I'll send notice to the other ships. Just make sure we get there safely.
We should be ready to translate in 10 minutes. Get everybody.
Okay, well, I've got 10 minutes to get people ready in case of a fight. Okay. Well, good luck.
So, the general quarters are sounded. People move to their stations. I assume everybody goes to the bridge, ready for the translation back. The translation back to real space goes surprisingly smoothly for such a tumultuous journey. Once the stomach dropping feeling of exiting the warp passes and the shields up on the windows start to come up. First thing is, I think most people in this crew have been in deep space before, where you're not in a system. There is no reference sun, but certainly this is what this area is. You're not in a system, you are just in the deep void. So the only light outside comes from stars, and there appears to be directly ahead of you a nebula. and the nebula itself gives off some degree of light. So it is some sort of gas cloud, as far as you can tell, and floating within it, you can see multiple ships. They all appear to be hanging derelict in space. There's no sort of indication of lighting or power, or in fact, from this distance, it looks like the closest ships are actually covered in a layer of ice. And beyond that, you can see now the phenomena that is the screaming vortex. It's imposition into real space, like a giant maleficent eye. Well, it's more like a swirling whirlpool of energy being drawn into the center. And you got to realize that the streaming vortex is several hundred light years across. So the images you see from the near edge are actually arriving faster than the images you're seeing from the far edge. And so the whole vortex seems to contort and twist as the different sort of sections of movement arrive at different times to your eye. But in the center of it is just an open hole in space through which purpley blue energy protrudes like an inverse black hole.
I understand.
Sorry?
I said I understand. What you're describing, we could term as like some sort of black hole sun.
Yep. Where'd you come?
Yeah.
All right.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like interjecting that. Yeah.
So effectively, it looks like this nebula is the edge of the accretion disk at the further spiral arm of this whirlpool. So there is no force being exerted on the ship to draw it in, but you feel like you're only a short distance away from the point where the ship would start to drift into the maelstrom. So that's what you can see.
Do you have any orders, Lord Commodore?
So there's no one else in the system, just us.
Well,
I mean, there's a bunch of
you can
ships.
You can see what looks like derelict ships. It's hard to tell because the nebula is quite thick, but you can certainly make out the shadows of ships hanging in space.
Approach with caution. See if we can snuff out any sort of.
So you don't feel like running
activity.
a system scan would be the best course of option here to start with?
The issue is, will the system scan be able to go through all the nebula and?
Well, we won't
other
know until we
anomalies?
try that. I feel like getting closer to a giant icy death ball in front of a giant warpy death ball would be a bad plan without knowing what we're getting into.
We can attempt it, yes.
All right, I look to our person who presses buttons, and I'm just like,
Master of Etherics. Well, does someone have a higher awareness than 40? They would like to roll rather than the Master of Etherics rolling.
Will we add our ship's detection
Ship's
rating,
detection, right? Yeah, that's right.
Which is 40.
I have a 60 currently without adding the ship detection.
I don't think your ship's detection is 40.
Isn't it?
Your ship's detection is like 20 something.
25 is the ship
25.
detection.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay.
The cap, like, I turn to the Master of Etherics, and the captain's like, no, wait, I'm better at his job than he is.
Well, the Master of Etherics queues up the sensors.
What the
and then,
fuck, Pondo?
And then,
Holy shit.
On Pierre's console, he sort of goes through the data and extracts the actual information from it.
It's not going to end well for me tonight. I can tell now.
Okay, so
That's my peak.
First off, the nebula detects oddly. The nebula doesn't appear to be made up of gas, according to the orgs. It's made up of small objects, more like things like a micrometeorite swarm rather than actually being a gaseous swarm. It's lots of small objects that actually appear biological in nature, according to the augurs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are 9 ships within the cloud, the nebula cloud. So there are 5 smaller, like frigate or raider-sized ships, and 4 larger cruiser-sized ships. All appear to give off imperial designs as such. Like they're, when I say imperial, they could also be chaos as well because they're based on imperial designs. But they are human technology. They're not Xenos technology. They're made of metal and they're made of steel rather than being made of bone or flesh or whatever. None of which are moving. with your high degrees of success. So you sort of like look at a map, and so because I mean obviously space is in 3 dimensions, so the different ships are in various levels as you're looking at it. But when you sort of render what you're looking at as a 2-dimensional plane, like looking down on the map from above, you realize that the 4 cruisers and 4 of the frigates form an 8-pointed star at which the 5th frigate sits at the very center of. And it looks like the outer 8 ships are all in a position of like flying away from the center, but they are now hanging in space at the points of this Chaos Star.
Are any of them the Exchequer class ship Exchequer?
With 70 success, I would say that the one at the center matches the design specs of the Exchequer.
Motherfucker. All right, so this is obviously some chaos shit, right? Like we look at an 8-pointed star.
Undoubtedly.
Okay. I'm asking that out of character, just to confirm.
Yes.
Yeah. Also,
Definitely
yeah, pretty sure.
chaos.
All right, I ask in character. I'm just like, so we're all sure that this is some chaos shit, right?
It certainly looks that way.
At least the other ships are. As far as the Exchequer, who knows? Most definitely though.
Your Vox operator pipes up. Lord Captain, we're receiving a Vox hail from the ship at the center.
The Exchequer.
It doesn't say that it's purely a voice only communication.
I'll put it through.
It's Giroux Sandstorm.
So the transmission is distorted somewhat by the nebula, but you hear a young sounding female voice saying, "Welcome. Have you come for trade or passage?"
Passage.
Have you bought the toll?
What is the toll?
1,000 souls.
One moment. And he just puts her on hold.
Yeah.
So real
Definitely
quick,
chaos.
are the other ships still crewed and like active?
So according to the augurs, they are dead in space.
Okay.
But once again, you couldn't pick up life signs from this distance, but they are, yeah.
But the center one, we are picking up those kind of signs, or we aren't picking them up from any of them?
So from the Exchequer, you're getting very minimal power. In fact, the one thing it says, it's Gellerfield is still operating. Otherwise, it's on absolutely the minimum power required to maintain life support on board the ship.
Roughly how long would it take for them to get their systems ready?
I mean, if you were to fly towards them and if they anticipated a threat, they could probably get the ship running by the time you arrive because it's quite a distance. But you know,
we've got our fleet here, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if they didn't feel threatened and they at the moment like you attacked, they needed to start up, they wouldn't be able to start up in the time frame that would be required for you to destroy their ship. Like it would take several strategic turns in void combat, which they would be not moving. Right now, their void shields are down, as are yours because of the yellow fields.
Is it just our 3 ships, or do we have a 4th ship? I think there's.
Don't we have the Space Marine battle barge with us?
No.
No. So the Marines came aboard, but that's just your 3 ships.
Okay. Captain, I'll tell you that we are here to find the location of the Exchequer, and I'm pretty sure we know that Exchequers are like cargo vessels.
Yeah, they're merchant frigates, basically.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to be able to just roll this thing. I mean, we got Lehman Russes on. We got a whole regiment of Lehman Russes on board, looking to do some invasion
We don't
work
have those
here.
yet.
Motherfucker,
No,
we
you
got
do.
a whole ship full of nulls here, ready to practice assassination skills. Look, I think we get in there. We force them to surrender, and if they don't, we force them to surrender. Then we board and take the ship, and we get paid due to our agreement with Trade Admiral Joe Consol. Look, they're merchants.
We don't by
Even-
chance have any of
Was
the
this?
exterminatus bombs, do we?
No.
Was this a deal that was made before I signed on to the crew?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was with the, what were we calling it now? The old crew?
No, it
The
was after
original
the old
cast.
Hmm.
It's when Dawn arrived, actually.
I see. Well,
I think.
John Quinn
Goes
just wants
after
the
the-
name ship of the ship class that he uses for his merchant fleet.
Has
He's like a rogue
series.
trader that's so I like get out my John Quinn Swall appreciation, like my mint edition rookie of the year card for him. Like my
he's got his stats, tonnage delivered. Like,
reported taxes. Look at him. He's bringing in big money for the Emperor right here. God Emperor blesses this man. Yeah, so Adrian, we're here to take that ship, essentially. I mean, I guess we could fulfill his request by just flying home and telling him where the ship is, but I think he'd appreciate the ship more, you know, and not telling people. Wait a second. All right, out of character. This is the 13th station of passage, right?
Yes.
Okay. So technically, the Cowles bloodline owns this location. It owns the right to this location. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, shit. What were they called? Were they called the Seven Witches? Oh, shit. Oh,
the witches,
motherfucker. Is that who these?
I feel like AP is putting some stuff together.
I don't know, because there's 8 ships, or sorry, there's 9 ships here, but some motherfucker in season 1 sold this location to somebody, and I'm wondering if this is the outcome of that event, and that there could be some like warp witches on board one or all of these ships, which makes the threat considerably higher. Would Nero know that? Probably. Nero is a paranoid motherfucker.
Main issue is we have to get through them to get to the 13th station to get the thing that we
This
want.
is the 13th station, sir. It's not really like a actual station. I'm pretty sure it's like a location. Right? I turned to the hooded game master.
So this is the 13th station, yes.
Yes.
This is
It's a location, sir.
Yeah. It's a stable part of deep space, but it's also apparently the only, or the way into the swimming vortex.
Yep, sir. This is what your mom owned, what you own. It's yours.
Okay.
They're squatting on it. I feel like
Now, where was the thing I'm supposed to pick up that has the information that Mother had?
What was that? Sorry,
I think the booklet or something. There's something here that was essentially I had to go pick up.
you're talking about the gray. So you need, in order to find the way to the blind tesseract, you needed like the notes of an Australian navigator, the Greystone Psalter. You needed the guide, the talisman, and the pattern. And the pattern previously had taken the format of a booklet of navigational charts and psalms belonging to an Australian navigator. I don't think that was connected with the 13th station, though.
There's like a whole other reason aside of that I own it. Like my mother had like a dead drop or something here.
No, that's on.
That was at the
Witchcraft's
temple.
World. No,
No, another Witchcraft's World. Sorry, one of the other ones. The in the pilgrimage as such, like
it's on like the space station.
The space station.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not here.
I haven't done that yet, have I?
We went there before.
Yeah, you've cleaned out your drop box.
We went there. Yeah.
Unless someone else has dropped something there at the dead drop.
Correct.
It was Lord Admiral Bastille.
It's been a
73
really
sold.
long time, but in season 1, I threatened the dude whose job is to be your master of whispers or whatever it's called to bring us the information or else. He hasn't been on screen for a very long time.
The old navigator.
Oh, the old navigator is the Xantai guy. He's dead now. I'm pretty sure the Inquisition just outright killed him. He literally was like, I should not communicate this information. I was like, communicate the information or else. He's like, all right, I guess I will. And I was like, thanks, bitch. I got a phone call. Xantai is kill. No.
So it was Lord Admiral Bastille the 7th that sold the location of the 13th station of passage to the
Trust me,
Seven
James.
Witches.
I know. I know who that bitch is. We narked on him to the Inquisition.
Yeah.
I got his name on my enemies list. It's right there
Yeah.
above not Fang. The guy with the evil sounding name who keeps disappearing every time we find out where he is. He was in a fight with space elves. No one's remembering this guy.
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name. Another rogue trader.
Yeah. He's like
For a
he's
second,
the
I thought
obviously
you were talking
evil
about
rogue trader.
Also,
No way.
Noble Coral is your Master of Whispers.
Yeah, that bitch.
Okay. Let's send word to. I can't remember the guy's name at the moment. It's totally left me.
You
Send
were
word to
talking
him
about
saying, hey, we
Trade
know-
Admiral Joan Consol.
Yep, trade out. Yep. That the Ashekur class ship is here. Issue is it's cursed. There's heretics aboard.
So you can't send an astral communication while your Gellerfield is up.
That's unfortunate.
Sir, I really feel like we could just go in there and kick their ass. I mean, it's literally a cargo ship. We're also kind
The
of a
issue
cargo
is the
ship,
other
but
8 ships that are around it.
yeah, but those ships are all dead. Look at the
We
sensor
think.
readings.
We think those ships are all dead.
I trust your interpretation of the sensor data, sir.
Well, we're not close enough to be able to fully tell if there's anybody inside them. Granted, we could rush over there, and on the way there, I could keep doing the sensor read and see if there's anybody inside.
We could tell them that actually we're here to trade and move in closer under a ruse.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, and if we detect anything we don't like, we leave. I mean, we're going to detect chaos, which I don't like, but, you know, other than that.
I mean, we take chaos now. Okay.
Just for the folks at home, his name was Janko Scourge. That's the evil bad dude. He's bad. He's on my enemies list. You
I
know,
was trying to think
sir,
of something to falsely trade.
we got some nulls. I mean, everybody loves nulls.
I don't think they like nulls.
They 100% can use nulls.
They want chaos, which nulls stop chaos from getting closer.
Yeah, but they can, you know, it's like money laundering. You can sell them to anybody.
I don't think they're concerned with money when they ask for souls.
Are you sure? Because it seems like they're always all about money. Don, you know about chaos stuff, right?
What kind of question is that?
A theological one, I guess? An economical theological one?
Are you saying you want to learn about chaos? Isn't that in itself an oxymoron?
No, I just want to learn if we can trick these people.
I mean, they're ruled by emotions, so if you feel like you can trick someone by pushing in that direction, then yes, obviously. Logic doesn't really factor into people that are just doing whatever the hell they want based entirely on their wants and needs. Because that's what chaos is.
I don't think that sounds right. I'm pretty sure there's a whole branch of chaos that's literally about like years of planning before an evil reveal.
Well, it sounds like you know more about chaos than I do.
Either way, this woman's been on hold for a very long time now.
Yeah, but that's normal. We're rogue traders, right? I mean, like we're eternal negotiations.
Okay, this is I came up with something. I put her back on the line, if she's even still there.
Yeah, she's been bearing the whole time. Yeah.
Apologies for the wait. I've been trying to consider the options. Would actually come here to trade, if you are interested.
Very well. I will send you coordinates, and she sends you you get basically just coordinates to where the ship is that she's on, and just a navigable path through the nebula.
Okay. Tell the other ships it will proceed slowly. until we can get in some decent range where we can see if we can tell if there's any other life on the other ships.
You want to
Understood.
proceed at wake speed through the biological cloud?
Okay, so the ships get underway. As you near the nebula, you realize that rather than a cloud of gas, it is a cloud of billions, if not trillions, of frozen bodies just hanging in space. In fact, as you start to enter the cloud, like they start to like bounce off the window. Some of them shatter as they strike the view. Or you know, and all throughout the ship there is this anywhere near the edge of the ship you hear like the tunk 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 sound of like bodies bouncing off the hull. You notice that the other 8 ships in this cloud, so they're all in positions where it looked like they were fleeing from the center of the phenomena, and they've all not only stopped dead in space, but they are coated in like a several foot thick layer of ice. In fact, imagine like how if you sort of like snap froze something with wind, you'd have that sort of trailing ice effect behind it where the ice extends out. Like you're not sure where the moisture has come from, but they certainly it's like there's been this blast out from the center that has frozen these ships solid in space and left this sort of extended effect upon them. You can see as you pass them that they are Imperial ships. Some of them, there's definitely at least 2 ships you can see that bear the marks of chaos. So a Tyrant class cruiser and an Iconoclast class destroyer that are ships that have only been built by chaos fleets, were not corrupted Imperial vessels. They are among those frozen in this phenomenon. Give me another awareness roll, please, Pondo, just as you get closer to the exchequer.
With the detection?
Yep.
Oh, well, all right.
Okay.
I'll spend a fate point to make it
1 degree.
A little bit better.
Okay. So you only pick up a single life sign on the exchequer.
Oh, okay. That's not ominous.
Yeah, I'm just like, sir, this is just going to be some Chaos Witch shit. I think we should call our, we have an astropath, right? It's Jordy LaForge guy.
Right, you hired Tyleus Markov. It's the one that can actually,
Yes, bring him here.
Should we perhaps also inform Inquisitor Shrain?
We can, but I don't necessarily know if this is his MO. I'm pretty sure it's not his MO.
He's a xeno socio-psychopathologist.
Although the more minds down here that could determine what's going on here, the better.
I hesitate to say it because she's been working for a little while, but every time it comes to demonic shit, Riani always has something to say.
Does she? I didn't know she realized that she knew demonic shit. Okay.
Remember the plan to eject the piece of paper into deep space? That was her plan.
I just thought that was outside the box thinking, to be honest.
I'm just saying there's a pattern that every time demons are involved, Riani seems to know something.
Very well, you can bring her here if she's able.
And we put out all hands, like Tyleus Markov. It sounds like a grandmother who's been smoking one too many menthol cartons a day. Tyleus Markov and Riani's then tied to the bridge, please.
Oh, it was from Monsters Inc. Who's the administration
Lord
person?
Inquisitor Shrain. You were quiet in the cockpit.
Inquisitor Shrain, your presence is requested.
Okay. As you wait for these people to arrive, you notice that interestingly, in defiance of physics, as you move through the cloud, it's like there's a wake that sort of pulls the cloud of bodies back in behind the ship as you pass through, even though there's no friction to create this wake. The cloud sort of seems to ominously close behind you as you enter. Sure enough, shortly after, you've got Markov, Riani, and Shrain all on the bridge.
We fill them in on everything, including the fact that there's one person out there asking for 1,000 souls.
Consider them briefed. Shane will speak first. So what do we know about this person on the ship?
I think that they might be a chaos witch from.
I mean, that seems obvious, but do we know anything else about them?
They don't seem like the very much conversation person. Though we can attempt to try to call them, but essentially when I asked about trade, she just gave us coordinates to go to.
Well, so someone that likes to talk face to face, I guess. But they didn't seem threatened by our presence here.
Well, look, so if they are a member of the Seven Witches, they technically have future sight, because we know that they were big on prognostication. Now, of course, we're loaded up with tons of nulls, and we know that nulls have specifically stopped interfering with future sight and destiny when it seems thematically appropriate. So there's a possibility they don't see this betrayal coming. There's also a possibility that this isn't one of the Seven Witches and, you know, it's just some chaos person.
So what's your plan, Captain, when we reach this ship? They're not offering any resistance right now, or do we plan to board? Do we plan to destroy it from where we are? What is the plan?
Well, at the moment, once we get to the destination that they say, to figure out what they want us to be on board of their ship, or keep communications at a close distance.
Yeah, I mean, so the implication from the message you got from her indicates that, you know, the idea is you come aboard their ship and you trade aboard their ship.
I think we should just invade, sir. We should send a expendable boarding party over, led by that deck officer from the card game arc. And if he isn't blown out of the sky, he secures a beachhead, and we bring everybody. We just fucking swarm the ship and de-chaosify it. That's as your security officer, I believe that this is the safest plan.
So Riani pipes in here now. So if this ship is infested by chaos of any type, it's possible that anything that our men see there could take their will. I mean, you, Lord Captain, or you, Sister Dawn, certainly have inspired people to feats of bravery, but I think that the risk of taking any large force on board this ship would be that we could lose control of them to their own fears.
Damn it, James. Why do we have these huge groups of people to do our bidding if we can never use them?
We can. For like Xeno stuff. Not chaos.
Yeah, but all the Xenos are like 50 times bigger than men and covered in razor-sharp claws.
If you guys turn evil, you could certainly fight loyalists without any problems.
Thanks. Yes, the path of evil is very easy, James. We know this. It's the path of good, moral, upstanding imperial citizens who torture people regularly with no qualms. That's the difficult path.
Well, it
I mean, look,
with Nero.
Trey does say, I see no problem with sending like a canary across.
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
I agree with the Inquisitor. I never liked that Guido guy anyway.
But won't this person we're meeting be expecting to talk to the person in charge?
Sure, but Guido can just shoot her in the head. That's
what
you understand that he really doesn't have any firearms or tactical leadership training at all, right?
Look, a specialist with a small squad can definitely get things done.
Okay. The four of us will go. Nero, Don, Adrian, myself. And if things get hazy, Nero's there to shoot her in the head.
I want to bring.
We can bring Cade. We can bring another couple other gnolls.
So the auger indicates that the single Last Scion is on the bridge, but the ship's lighter landing bay is opened to space right now. It's in it's sealed, but it's able to be landed in. It's open for internal traffic.
Can we bring ourselves close enough that our Geller shields will cover the other ship?
You can do it, yes. I mean, it's going to fill us up right now, according to your orders.
Mm-hmm.
You're just wanting like a safe passage, Gellert.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to fly a gun cutter.
Our asses. Yeah.
Okay, actually, Spoon, while you check this out, please give me an awareness roll, just you, Spoon, but you can add the ship's detection as well, 25.
Sure.
Okay. When you're looking at it, you notice that there's something wrong with the Geller field, like it's actually inverted. Like it's actually preventing. So if there's warp inside the ship, it's preventing it from getting out rather than the warp outside from getting in.
Right. Interesting.
So right. overlapping your Geller fields could be dangerous. It could be a bit of a matter.
I was about to ask. Yeah, like are we about to get? Are we about to get wave cancellation effect, or are we going to get the doubling?
You know what happens when you have a balloon of warp energy and something starts compressing it? I point that out to everyone else involved.
Okay, let's not merge our Geller fields then.
We should request that they lower that field so that we might do business.
Lowering the field would release any sort of warp energy that they have behind it, which may be harmful to our situation here.
But you are fine taking a gun cutter into that and us walking inside it?
I would like to know more about what's going on inside their Geller field before
we could just ask them to that the field might be harmful to us and that they could dissipate it. If they say no, what are they going to do? Turn us away? We're literally in shooting distance at this point. Like, we're here to do business, right? Speaking of, I think we should bring Wally and the Revenant and just drop it out of the gun cutter and blow this bitch away. You know what I'm talking about? Just full on tank, gun cutter warfare. Just every weapon we've got.
We already agreed that was a silly idea.
What? No, I'm talking about us. We, a small strike team aboard the gun cutter with a tank. We're safe, right? Dawn can cover Wally with her, space magic. Sorry, that's me. Not Dawn can cover Wally with her amazing, incredible ability to channel the God Emperor. There we go. That one's better.
Yes, I agree. You would have had a very angry nun.
I don't understand. You've literally told me that your character is not my friend and you hate me. So
also doesn't mean she would let insults slide.
Super neutral.
Let's try to send a communication vox to inquire about why the Geller field is inverted.
Very well.
Okay, so you vox the ship and you get the same voice back. Hello, yes? Are you ready to come aboard?
Just one question I'd like to inquire about. We noticed that your Geller field is inverted, like you're trying to keep stuff in. What is in?
That is when we are carrying souls. We have no souls aboard right now. If this is a problem, we can shut it down.
Yeah, it just looks so smug right now. And then he holds up a note card that says "We?" ?
Pierre's more trying to consider the idea is that the Geller field holds souls in.
I mean, that makes sense though, right? The warp is literally just pure soul energy.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. Okay. Yes, that would be nice if you could do that.
I keep holding up the card that says "We?" ?
Yes. I have an escort waiting for you in the lighter bay when you arrive.
I start wildly waving the card around at this point.
All right, the Geller field shuts down.
Okay. All right, let's get ready to head over.
You know, by the way, Nero, this X-Check has got a single Mars pattern macro battery. Like it's a perfunctory weapon used to scare off pirates only. It would have no chance of destroying any of your ships in combat.
Yeah, but you know what I really want to do is fight a chaos witch on our home ground. So
Look, man, you're the one who wants to take.
I've been chasing this storyline since season 1. Okay.
I'm 100% down to just blow this thing out of the fucking water and leave.
Let me sell you on something real quick, right? Just a fucking land strike to the bridge. Their shields are down, right? Because the Geller field is up.
Yeah. I mean, the Geller field's down now, but they haven't put the void shields up.
Yeah. I mean, look, Captain, we literally could just snipe this bitch right off the bridge, just right now. Look, zoom, Master of Etherics, zoom in, enhance, quadrant 2. She's right there. We can see her. She's waving at us.
I think the issue is
I swear I can hit her.
If we shot the bridge, it would destroy the bridge. I don't know how easy it is to replace it.
Yeah, but can't you? All right, I get on the communications. I'm just like, hey.
So when you zoom right on the bridge,
yeah,
you can see like a single figure standing on the bridge, like looking out the window at you. It appears to be a young blonde woman wearing like a white robe, carrying a staff which looks derivative of an astropath staff. Like, you know, it's like an affectation, just doesn't require it to warp, it still walks while, you know, carrying it. She's relatively attractive, probably be early 20s. Doesn't look in any way, you know, other than the fact she's on board this vessel on her own, there's nothing untoward about her appearance.
Nothing super warpy.
No.
All right. I call Ivy and I'm just like, hey, how long would it take you to replace a bridge if we blew it up?
If we had a replacement component and dry dock, maybe 3 weeks.
All right. Could you control the ship's systems from the independent departments like engineering?
If the bridge is destroyed?
Yes.
I mean, we could probably do things like raise shields. Like it wouldn't be navigable, but we could certainly, like, you know.
Could we tow a ship like that?
You could tow a ship like that, certainly.
All right. I turn to Captain. I'm like, look, sir, 13 kilometers drift, but I did blow up a giant invasion fleet with a cashier's desk.
I think the issue is that the bridge is rare and wouldn't be easily replaced.
Ah, damn it. All right.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yes,
you ship a Theseus to you there, Nero.
What is it?
You ship a Theseus in. You know, you can blow up the whole exchequer and just replace all the components. Say it's the exchequer. I just replaced everything because the whole thing was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna. If he has to get a new bridge, he's not gonna be like, "Boy, the bridge was the one part of the ship I really wanted."
But what if it was?
Holy shit! Fine, I go and put on my power armor.
The bridge is where the brass plaque which says exchequer is actually.
Oh my god! I'm just like, all right, cancel the tank plan unless we plan to roll a tank through the whole fucking ship to kill this woman.
Okay. So, out of character, from what I think I understand, is the bridge. Could you just buy another bridge, or is it? Because I don't know as far as
this is a limited edition premium skin bridge. Okay, if we blow it up, we can get a new bridge, but it won't be as good.
Yeah,
Like the cowboy hat in Ark, you know.
Well,
like
yeah, we'll have
everyone
to
has
use a
one when they
cash
spawn
shop
in.
item.
Cash shop item.
Well, look, when you're in chaos, you just got to turn some souls in. They give you the rare shit. All right, I literally
they give you a loot box where you might get a rare bridge.
You're right. That's very chaotic.
Yeah, that's very Zinch.
that hurts me.
Yo,
inside.
Zinch just sitting there. And it's just like, oh, I know it's going to be in the next 47 boxes. Might as well not even try. Could you imagine trying to do like a gotcha game with a fucking psychic or like a future sight person around? They're just like, don't spend your money. It's not going to be worth it.
It's like Homer Simpson, like looking through the scratchies when what's his face is asleep, and he's just like chooses between the candy bar and the $500 scratchy, and he's like,
the waifu you want won't come to you. All right, yeah. Shit. Okay, so Cade is safe because he has a destiny point now, right?
Yep.
Who else do we have that has a fate point that we can bring?
It's just our.
we could bring the
No, wait,
Space Marine.
Yeah, the Space Marine captain, right?
Yeah, Riani has a fate point.
No, did she have to burn it because she almost died?
She had to burn. No, she had more than one though. So,
Oh, okay.
because touch by the fate gives you as many fate points as your willpower bonus.
Oh, all right.
I don't know that bringing a Space Marine onto a Chaos ship is a good idea. I feel like that's
Do
going
we
to be.
have the captain with us? I thought we did.
Yeah, he came with you. Yes, but he's not on the
okay.
bridge right now. He's in his chambers meditating.
Oh, so we could do that romance arc? Got it. Okay.
Hey man, I'll work to set that one up, okay? And I didn't even get a high five. Where, yeah, I feel like if you put a Space Marine on a Chaos ship, either he's just gonna start shooting or they're just gonna start shooting, one way or the other.
I agree.
I mean, even Dawn is gonna have to like wear a robe or something.
I mean, at some point, we are going to just kill all of the people on board that ship, correct?
Yes, but we're landing in the lighter bay and they're escorting us to the bridge.
I see.
Right. I think that maybe we need to follow this through until we get close enough that we can open fire and then just kill this bitch on sight. But
That's you're saying exactly what my plan was.
yes, I know that's your plan, sir. We've been here for a long time. I assume that you want us to clear everybody else out while you engage her in pistol duels. Because I'm sure that staff she has is purely decorative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she had a last pistol too. Sorry,
I don't think the last pistol is the threat we're looking for.
All right. Well, let's.
All right, you come within. You're in range. You know, effectively, you're as close as you can get without taking a lighter across now.
Mm-hmm. I go fire up one of the gun cutters.
Okay, so who's actually going aboard the gun cutter then? So there's the four of you.
Cade.
Cade.
How many extra light power armors do we have?
We had 5 total, I think, right?
And I think Dawn already had one.
Yeah.
It was just me and you that needed one.
Right.
So we have 3 extra? Okay. I'm wondering in case of, putting people in space.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Right. Exactly. In case we end up in a vacuum.
Yeah. So definitely the 4 of us and Cade.
Okay, needs that power armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the saying. So
Does the blazing sword work in the vacuum of space? Like, is that a thing that happens in this game? Does it not give a shit when it comes to like fire properties and stuff? Or like...
Yeah, it's probably self-oxidizing. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because the fire.
It's a broken plasma sword that produces both oxygen and a combustible.
Yeah, because that's the burning part of the burning sword is not actually it's just a superheated power sword, basically. Yeah. It's like Optimus Prime's Melta Axe.
I don't know what that is either, but yeah.
You've never heard the tragedy of Optimus Prime?
I know that that guy that went crazy. It was also Indiana Jones's son. Was
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Thank you. Goddamn. Yeah, I know that. And what was I saying? I've forgotten. Sorry. Please continue.
do we want to take Rihanna
I would
with
know
us?
where that was going. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. something Transformers, something Optimus Prime taking the heart of a cube out of him or some shit. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched that movie.
So the question is, do we want to take Rihanna with us or just leave her here and go with just Cade?
Sir, Rihanna is a critical ship component, and she's probably really tired.
Okay.
I think leaving her here is.
It just seemed like you wanted to take her with you.
That's true, but literally every time I'm in a scene with Rihanna, I'm either mocking her or saving her life. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of comedy scenes aboard the Exchequer.
So, just out of curiosity, because I'm not familiar with. This is out of character, by the way. I'm not familiar with like chaos or witches or any of that hobbledegook in this game. What is our main concern with like fighting her exactly?
We will explode. Our brains will explode inside of our head, and she'll use our blood to stab other people with blood needles.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. So like basically, Chaos powers will ignore like armor and shit.
Okay.
But there's also the chance of like gaining corruption or insanity points.
So most most psychic
issue we had
powers
with the warp bugs, that's what we're worrying about.
Oh, okay.
Minus
most psychic powers can be grouped under either divination, telekinesis, telepathy, pyromancy, or biomancy. So yeah, most psychic powers fall under one of those sort of 5 headings. There are a whole bunch of other powers as well, but they're like most things. So and most psychers only really adopt one of those disciplines. So so therefore your astral telepaths, your astropaths have telepathy. They probably don't have a lot of combat ability because they don't go and learn boiling blood or telekinesis to throw people against the wall. But more powerful psychers can learn multiple disciplines.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure I have some resistance to this shit.
I think you have resistance to psychic powers for sure.
But there was also something I was reading where it's like it doesn't work on something like a certain discipline or something like that. Anyway, yeah.
The other thing is, like, you got to remember that you might have resistance to psychic powers, which will stop them from reading your mind or setting your blood on fire, but it won't stop them from like dropping a building on you if they're telekinetic.
Well, I also think it doesn't like it's resistance to psychic techniques, except for like the telekinetic ones or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Because most psychic powers are an opposed test, so you get a benefit to your opposed test to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so we're fine with the 4 of you plus Cade?
Yep. Are you wanting to take someone else?
I'd love to take the whole fucking ship with us. I'd like to crash the front end of our ship through their bridge, but you have to take what you've got. So
Like
I guess
drive through McDonald's.
I'm just worried about the issue is we take out the bridge and then it's like, well, it's useless to me. You destroyed the bridge. I can't get a new one of those.
Look, Nero and my personal qualms and the mission are counter overlapping, like a warp field and a Geller counter warp field.
Yeah.
All right. So as I'm getting to sit down on the gun cutter, I pull out the data slate of wanted bounties that I haven't used in like 18 episodes, and I'm just flipping through to see if this bitch is one of them, because I want to know whether I need to bring her head back or not intact.
Nope. Not on there.
No, not on there. Okay.
Did you look under which with a V?
So you fly the gun cutter into their bay, so that their bay looks completely abandoned when you bring the gun cutter in. So it does have like some lighter vessels there as well, but they look like they're covered in the dust of ages, effectively. Otherwise, the bay looks like, other than the fact it's on low power mode, completely normal. There's no chaos signals or the like. You put the gun cutter down. As you all go to the main ramp and the ramp goes down, you see who wasn't in the bay when you remember when you flew in, but they're now waiting at the base of your ramp. 5 Space Marines in azure and gold rimmed armor that you instantly recognize as Thousand Suns, or with their bolters up at like a parade rest. Maybe we'll come back to that after a short break.
You're son of a bitch, James.
That's why there's no life sign.
They're already dead.
We need to just put the ramp up and start flying away. Fly backwards while just shooting. I knew this was a trap. We knew this was a trap. I told you about those stairs. It keeps happening. I actually could have drove the tank while you flew the ship. Oh, motherfucker. He got us. Why wouldn't any of our people warn us about this? There literally is no one in our council of wise dudes. Like, the Inquisitor wasn't like, oh, man, you know what? It could be Thousand Suns over there.
Oh, the Inquisitor is Xenos.
That's right. The issue with Strain is that Strain is curious, too. So, like, he will he'll want to find out what's going on before he attacks it. He's not the sort of one to say shoot it from here. It's safe.
Yeah, I know. That's
let's go.
He's
you got to find
eventually-
the heresy before you shoot the heresy.
Yeah, he's one of those inquisitors that's eventually going to get themselves in trouble and become a radical.
I'm one of those acolytes that's like, let's shoot first and just keep holding the trigger. Don't tape that thing down. All right, we'll be back in like 8 minutes, friends.